I put in about how I don't want my stalkers at my front door, and so now they're...
Sorry, I was just trying to get a good thumbnail.
Things I put in about how I don't want my stalkers at my front door.
Oh, bring on people.
Which is really funny because the stalker, still piles on. Obviously, C went in and took off all of the things I put in about how I don't want my stalkers at my front door, and so now they're always at my front door. And tonight, I guess they doubled up on my order so that they could get themselves some food. And I ordered a meatless Big Mac, which is one of my favorite things to get from McDonald's. It's only 360 calories, and it's really, really good. And I highly recommend it. And the stalker must have ordered himself a meat full Big Mac, so they brought me his order because, okay, it's hard to explain. So about 3 times a year, I go to my favorite Italian restaurant, which is Napoli's here in town. It's wonderful. And I order food. So I called them, and I said, hey, I want to get some food, and I need pink sauce and angel hair pasta, and the free bread, and something, a side salad. And so they said, okay, it's going to be this much money. And I was like, okay, and I hung up. That's for delivery. And I do know my voice, but still. So I called, I only order from there like 3 times a year, but everybody knows my voice after like just meeting me. So I called them back, and I was like, about 20 minutes later, I was like, oh, and I called them back, and I was like, y'all didn't ever ask me where I lived or take my money or anything. And she's like, oh, okay, well, she's like, didn't you get your food? And I said, no, I didn't get my food. And she's like, well, we sent it out with a guy, and he ordered back. And I was like, well, I didn't get my food. And she's like, oh, well, okay. So then she said, she took my information, and she's like, I'll send it right back out. She's like, it's not a problem. Send it right back out. So she took my money, and she said, just wait 10 minutes, and he'll be right there. So I did. And then I opened up my door, and there was a guy taking my food off my front doorstep. And I was like, what are you doing? But he'd already left, because my door is really easy to get to from the side. So he'd already left. And then about 10 minutes later, the food guy showed up. And he gave me my food. And I was like, thank you. And I signed for it and everything, right? So trying to remember how this went exactly. Oh, anyway, so I ate my food, and in my food was 2 meals that were different. One was spaghetti bolognese, and my order, and my order is always pink sauce on angel hair pasta, extra spicy. So then the other order, I guess he got, when he grabbed the order thinking it was this one, he got mine, and I got his, and his had Miralax in it. Now I'm not going to say that it was from the restaurant though, because it could have been the driver on the way. It could have been anything. Okay, so and I don't mind a good laxative every once in a while, but it was really funny. So, and it wasn't for me because I didn't order the bolognese, and it was in the bolognese. So I laughed, and I called him back, and I was like, guys, because that's what they do, right? So, because evidently they watch my videos. I put, watch my YouTube channel on my DoorDash order. So then I ordered McDonald's. So I got my Big Mac, and evidently the guy had asked for free food again. And it's probably SC or M again. MK or SC, I should say. And then, it's so funny. So I got my meatless Big Mac, right? Well, when I opened up the bag, it was full of, it had like 5 or 6 roaches in it. And the bag was taped shut from McDonald's. So, it was really bad. It had 5 or 6 roaches in it, and meat in the Big Mac. No roaches on the food. in the bag of the food, just roaches in that big shopping bag thing that they put everything in. So that wasn't so funny. But that's what I'm telling you, is people aren't nice to people. Messing with me, personally, gives people the worst possible karma that I've ever seen anyone have in my entire life. And that's true across the board pretty much every time someone messes with me. I've never known someone to mess with me and end up okay. And I don't know what that is. I guess it's just the benefit of being a fairly good person most of the time. And I thought that was kind of odd. Not funny, per se, because it's sad to know that they treat people like that. And honestly, I don't know who is treating people like that. It could be any stop along the way of these food things that happen. It could be any employee, any driver, anybody. But all I know is that if you ask for free food and switch it out with me, then that's not fair to me, because it's the third time that's happened that I've ordered something and someone else has tried to piggyback on it, and then they switch it out with me because they know that someone's being mean to them, right? Because now they've gotten the idea that they're still going to get bad food if they try to get on my dime. And I don't really have money to keep ordering DoorDash this month. I'm going to have to stop now. I just wanted to have a nice weekend. And I don't know how to explain it to people. I hope that kind of gives you a window into the kind of people that they have here in restaurants and Nacogdoches. Now, I do have one negative story, which is sadly a sandwich place that's on my way home from the bank. Remember, I don't know if you follow me on Reddit. I'm Daisybell1313 on Reddit. Daisybell_1313 is me on Reddit, but on my old email, which I need to get back, and my new one is Daisybell1313_. But on my old email, I told the story about how I went to the convenience store and this woman was like, "Why are you still here?" to me. And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Why are you still here? Like, we don't want," and then she wouldn't take my money. She kept saying, "Your money's no good here. I don't want your money," for my drink that I was getting. And I was really upset about it, right? So I walk into a sandwich place after getting on the right-hand side of the street, after getting my rent check from the bank. And I went in there, and it was the same lady. And I was like, "Oh, hey," because I wasn't that mad at her. She's a jerk to me, but that doesn't matter. And so I was like, "Hey," and she's like, "Hey." And so I ordered my food, and she's like, "Oh, your debit card's declined." And I had just been to the bank, so I was like, "Okay, hold on." So I literally walked all the way back to the bank and went inside and was like, "Okay, I just asked you before I left here if I needed to get out money for the weekend or if we would be okay because my deposit had cleared." And they're like, "No, your debit card's fine." So then I was like, "Okay." So I went back to this sandwich place and I was like, "Okay, they say it's fine. Let's go ahead and run it again." So then she ran it again and she said, "It's declined." And I said, "Okay." So she's like, "You could." So then she went back, and there's a couple guys that work at that sandwich place that are known for spitting in food, but I don't go when they're working, and I didn't see who was back there this time. But anyway, so she brought me my bag, and she's like, "You can have this food." And I knew not to take it. I just had the worst feeling, so I was like, "No, it's okay." So I left, and I went to Subway and got the best sandwich of my life. But anyway, so then, so that's a negative story. But anyway, those are just some sandwich stories of Nacogdoches, which are really funny. And I love people here. They're like the best-hearted people in the world, the ones that work in restaurants. You just can't find better people. But there are some people that kind of get passed around as bad employees, and it's really sad. But anyway, I don't know what to say. I don't know why these people are doing this to me. I don't like to see people get bad karma. And then I came home to a ransacked house, and it's the weirdest thing, y'all. It's a lot of money to pay for all this stuff to happen. And I don't understand what the hell's the matter with them. Because they're not making demands because they can't. Because the people that have access to my apartment aren't the people in charge of the apartment. Does that make sense? It's because next to my key, I'll show you sometime, but next to my key there's like a little hole for a skeleton key, like a master key, and somebody has that. And for some reason they're not helping me with that part of it. They keep changing the actual key. But it doesn't matter because, and I don't even have it on my key ring. I have a lanyard, and I don't even have it on my key ring. I have it like literally taped to my body because people are being so crazy about everything. Because I've woken up before and had people carrying my lanyard in their hands out the door, and I've had people take the key part of the lanyard off of the. I'm not making a king sign, y'all. But I had someone taking the key part of the lanyard off my neck. That was M. And because you can unhook the keys from the lanyard. And it's just so crazy. I don't know why they're feeding on me like vultures. And every time that someone gets mad at them, M, C, and S, and K, and now it's another generation of people, which is just crazy, plus M's mom, they turn it around on me again, like it's my fault that someone's being mean to them. When I'm not having a bad life myself, I love my life. I have the best life. And these people are just being crazy. It's almost like the more things I do right, the angrier they get. And I don't know what that is. I don't know what personality that is. If someone knows anything about that kind of behavior, they've seen someone act that way, please let me know, because I've never seen people act this way my whole life, and I've been through so
That's
many.
what's rings.
Anyway, I just want to tell you that little story before I forgot, because it's pretty funny. And the weird thing is that so they take it. People get mad at them. They take it out on me, even if they're not doing the right thing. And if I try to secure my environment, then they respond by making it impossible to do that. And I know some of this is illegal, so it's sad to watch because I've never been someone that instigates crime in other people, and I just hate to see people doing this when all I want to do is like live here. I'm afraid to even clean up my apartment at this point because it's a crime scene basically, and it's stressing me out. So I just wanted to tell you that, to kind of leave it here so you'd understand what it's like. And you can see my face and see that how animated it is and how it's not the stalker's face at all. And how sad that is for them. And that you can tell from the videos that where someone's trying to go through different faces, that's not zero. What?
That's not me.
Hi y'all. As you know, Saturdays is a really busy